Greetings, redheads. Thank you for joining me in another edition of your favorite show, the one, the only Red's View. Of course, I am your gracious host, the one and only Jay Red. Hopefully, everybody is having a great start off to their week. Hopefully, everybody's having a productive week so far. Thank you for joining me. Before I begin this video, do me a favor. All right, do me a favor. Do Jay Red a favor. Hit that like button or the dislike button. All good as long as we get some traction to help out the algorithm. You already know how this goes. Also, please go ahead, donate. My Cash App is dropped below. You can go to the Cash App and everything like that. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. It's going across your screen right now, youtube.com/redsview. Donate to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and hit that share button so we can get this thing rolling, man. Get this algorithm cracking. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? So anyway, man, we got a lot to talk about today. The very first thing that I want to talk about is this. Is Drake being sabotaged by Universal Music Group? Is Drake being sabotaged by UMG? Now, the reason that I'm talking about this is because if you're on Twitter just like I am, and I don't really post on Twitter like that, I mainly just go for the feed. It gives me everything I need pretty much at a fast rate. So anyway, there's been a lot of discussion ever since last Friday. If you're not aware, Party Next Door, I was about to say PND, Party Next Door and Drake dropped an album. Now, this album was not under Universal Music Group, but Drake is a Universal Music Group artist, right? And this, from my understanding, came out through Sony, which is through OVO, that's Drake's label, and PND is his artist. So, from my understanding, I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but Party Next Door dropped this album as his album featuring Drake. It's really a joint album, a duo album, however you want to call it, collaborative album. But the irony is Drake is on most of the songs anyway. So it feels like a Drake album featuring Party Next Door, if we're being honest. But be that as it may, it's listed as Party Next Door as the primary artist, right? Some things say Party Next Door and Drake. Most of the times I've seen Party Next Door. So anyway, since this album was released, now some of Drake's fans love it. Some people don't like it. It's getting mixed reviews, mixed reactions. But the thing that's catching a lot of attention are the numbers. The thing that's catching attention aren't just the reviews, but the numbers. Now, of course, coming off of this battle after Drake had his ass handed to him, everybody wants to know, is his career over? Is he done? Will he be able to still be in the same position that he's in? Now, if you follow me and you're subscribed to this channel, you've heard me plenty of times say that Drake isn't where he's going, where he's used to being, right? I don't feel like his career is over. However, I do feel like he's not at the place where he was. And a lot of people try to say, well, he's the most streamed artist and he's all this. I'm like, yes, from his back catalog. All right, his past catalog, of course. But we're talking about the future. We're talking about right now. I don't know if he's going to be able to have the same impact that he did. So anyway, a lot of people have been noticing something strange going on since this release. Now, keep in mind, this lawsuit he dropped, and he has a lawsuit going against Universal Music Group. And like I said, if you've been following the channel, I've been covering this since it happened. And I said that this was a bad idea, not just because the rap beef and the rap battle, and you look lame if you're suing after losing a rap battle. But I said that it was risky. It was very risky because you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you. And we know when the artist goes against the label will always win at the end of the day, and they'll sabotage you. So look what's happening now. I'm about to share something that I've seen ever since this album was released. Okay, so if you look at Academics' page, it says this is a random fan. Like Academics, he asked the question. He said, "Y'all think they conspiring against the boy?" The owl. He said thousands of Drake fans are complaining it's hard to find his album on these platforms. So it says right here, this thing says, so I search for Kendrick on Spotify and GNX pops up. Then I go ahead and search for Drake, and then Party Next Door and Some Sexy Songs for You doesn't pop up. Spotify on some BS. All right. Does it have anything more other than that? So I guess it's showing, this is a video showing like what's going on and what's transpiring right here. So they type in GNX, boom. Now I guess they're trying to type in Drake. Yep, they're typing in Drake, and then you don't see that. Okay. All right, so they're showing that, and it's strange that you can't find that. They type in Party Next Door, you don't see it, right? Party Next Door featuring Drake, you don't see it. Okay, so you see that's going on. All right. Now, somebody said this. This is tell me why this is up next when I've already done the whole suggest list, less for Kendrick, and that song and all I'm listening to is Part Next Door and Drake album. So people have been saying that. Says soon as the numbers drop, it's a conspiracy. Incredible how many people don't understand what an algorithm is. So some people calling cap on that. All right. Let's see what else has been going on. Because I could have sworn I had another one too. Y'all bear with me. So right here, I wonder if this is the same thing. So this is an article from Hot New Hip Hop. Shout out to hotnewhiphop.com. It says Drake fans believe his recent chart placements are a Spotify conspiracy. All right. So they put out their collaborative album, and it says those who have struck by the artist have been doing their best to increase the streams. I've been seeing a lot of that. The first week sales projections have not been released, and many are anxious to see what the numbers are. However, if one thing is for certain, it is the paranoia caused by the beef. Will it render any projection as useless? Why? Because Drake fans already have hit their head that UMG and Spotify are conspiring against them. So this thing right here says clearest proof on Spotify blacklisting Drake / Party Next Door and the some sexy songs for you. Compare top artists, Apple and Spotify number differences. It'll be small. Now look at Drake and P&D numbers. You'll see the Spotify is one is way lower than Apple. This is significant. How could they be doing this? So they got different examples that they're showing, right? So some people call it cap because I've seen some people say that they searched and they're able to find the album. Some people are saying that Drake fans are in shambles right now. They don't know what to do. I've seen Drake fans beforehand say, hey, y'all, we got to stream it. We got to stream it. Let's buy all the digital copies we can. Also, I think that Drake slashed the price of the album. It was full price, but then he slashed it. So it was real interesting how all this stuff is going on. So here's my response to this. Is Drake being sabotaged? I would say yeah. I would say yes. Yes, he is. And it's because he's suing UMG. That wasn't a smart move. That I've been very vocal about that. See, his fans kept trying to defend it, saying, hey, if you were in his tax bracket and if you were called a PDF file and if you do, I get that. I understand it. On the hip hop side, it looked whack because it looked like you were a sore loser and you stuck out like a sore thumb and was mad that you lost the battle. But on the other side, when you think about blackballing and you think about conspiracies and all this stuff that we talk about, this is the prime example of that. It makes sense for Universal Music Group to be going against Drake from releasing this album and crapping all over the numbers. Absolutely. I'm not surprised. And I'll tell you this, when I woke up early in the morning on Friday, yeah, so it came out Thursday, midnight, whatever you want to call it. I tried to search for the album and I had a difficult time on Apple Music. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I typed in Drake thinking it was gonna pop up, didn't pop up. Then I typed in, I want to say I typed in some sexy songs for you. I typed that in and I didn't know if I needed to put the dollar signs for the S's or what. I tried to type that in and couldn't find it. I typed in Party Next Door. The album didn't pop up. But when I clicked on the artist profile on Apple Music Party Next Door, that's when I saw the album and it was scattered everywhere. So I thought that was strange. So the answer is yes, OV hoes. Yes, Drake Glazers. Yes, Kendrick haters. Drake is being sabotaged. I hope this helps you sleep at night. See, this is a learning lesson for y'all. This is a learning lesson. Now, people want to go talking about numbers and different things like that, right? They want to say, because Kendrick, of course, his numbers have skyrocketed since the Super Bowl. Okay. So if Drake is going at Universal Music Group, the biggest music conglomerate out there, okay, some of the biggest labels are under Universal Music Group. They're tied into different industries. Okay. Y'all see when people like me get to talking about this, you say I'm too woke and too conscious and all this other stuff. But when it's affecting your favorite rapper, your favorite artist, now it's an issue. This is a learning lesson. Yes. What did y'all think was going to happen? Did you think that Drake was just going to be able to put out this album with Party Next Door and have high first week numbers, be number one on the charts, having hits and all this? Did you think that was going to happen? Because I'm already seeing, I saw something that said that the songs haven't been getting that many streams. It had like a 41.2% decrease of streams when it first came out. I'm seeing conflicting reports, but I saw a thing that said that on next week's Billboard, Drake probably won't even crack the top 10 Hot 100. Typically, when Drake drops a project, his whole album is going to be flooding the Hot 100 charts, especially in the top positions. Something's going to be number one, number two, number three, four, five, six. It's not happening, right? Now, the other side, to play devil's advocate, the album just ain't that good. The album just ain't that good. All right. If we're playing devil's advocate and we're being honest, I made a video and I told y'all that this wasn't the right move. I asked CJ if it was, shout out to CJ Coachless Theory. I asked if this was the right move to put out an R&B based album in the time of this war that's still going on between him and Kendrick. Now, the battle is over. Okay. The battle is over. Kendrick already watched him. Drake has been defeated. It is what it is. Now, the war means afterwards who's going to have the longest lasting career, who's going to sell the most records in comparison, because people already compare this album to GNX. When I woke up in the morning, I saw all the Drake Glazers, all the Drizzy Glazers, all the Team OVO. I saw all of them talk about how this album was a classic. Oh my God, like this is incredible. This is what real music is. See, it don't require all that thinking and stuff like Kendrick Lamar and Blase Skip, you know, all that stuff. So my thing is, hold on, give me a second. Give me a second, I'm just checking something. Okay, so look, this is just in. It says Drake Party Next Door, some sexy songs for you, was on pace to sell 250,000 the first week. It will easily be the number one next week, beating number two by at least 100,000. Okay, so interesting. So 250. Okay, so first week sales just came in as I'm talking to you. I figured that's what my homeboy Lavelle was sending from academics. So it's on pace to sell 250K. Now, that's relatively low for Drake. I want you to understand this. If this was well, I ain't gonna say last year, the year before last year, this would have automatically did 300K on up, more than likely 400K. But for it to be 250K, that's pretty low. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it, I mean, debuting at number one, I mean, that's still pretty cool. And Drake can hide under the guise of, hey, this is an official release from me. This is a Party Next Door album, and I'm featured on. But anyway, do I think that UMG was messing with the numbers and all this stuff? Absolutely. Are they propping up Kendrick to be bigger than what he is? I don't. You could argue that to just piss Drake off. I think that's one of the reasons he got them Grammy Awards. But Kendrick just performed at the Super Bowl, so of course his numbers are going to skyrocket. It's going to be what it is, right? But yes, I think that, you know, with all these conflicting reports and different things like that, yeah. Now that 250, he's on pace to do 250K the first week. But I do think some funny monkey business is going on because Universal Music Group has access to all the resources and stuff. See, Drake is a global known artist, so of course he might have a decent first week, but I think this is low for Drake standards. If this was a Drake solo album and it did 250 the first week, it wouldn't be good. But anyway, yeah, I want all the OV hoes to understand that this is what happens. This is what happens when you mess with the hands that feed you. You know, Universal Music Group is a conglomerate, and Drake is trying to sabotage their bottom line, because of their bottom line is, hey, for our promotion, we're going to prop these numbers up and use payola, and we're gonna mess with the streams and all this other stuff, the bots and things like that. If you're exposing them for that, how do you expect them to make a living for themselves? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you got to look at. So yeah, like what did y'all think was gonna happen? Like I said, y'all thought he was just gonna put out a record and it's just gonna break records and stuff that Drake usually does? No, sir, and no, ma'am. But like I said, Devil's Advocate probably just ain't that good of an album. I mean, I listen to it. I don't ever have to listen to it again. Now I know you could hit me in the comments and say, well, that is not for you. That's not your demographic and all this other stuff. I'm like, hey man, listen, I'm a music lover at the end of the day, and I love R&B music, but that album wasn't it. I gave my honest review. The reason I gave it a 5 out of 10 is simply because I felt like I wasn't the target audience for it, and I don't want to call it trash. Some people have called it trash. I didn't want to call it trash because the songs didn't sound terrible to me. They just weren't good, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. I do feel that Drake is being sabotaged, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to continue. It's going to continue. So let's keep it moving. Let's talk about something corny Drake did. Now, I saw this, I just shook my head. As you know, Drake is in Australia right now doing his tour, and the man has been taking shots at some of everybody. Joe Budden on this new album he did. He's changed up his lyrics to diss LeBron at one of his shows in Australia. And most recently, DeMar DeRozan's jersey got violated by Drake while on stage. That's right. Let me show y'all what Drake did on stage, and I'm not gonna play the song. I'm not gonna play the audio because, of course, I don't want to get copyright infringement. But look at this. So that's a DeMar DeRozan jersey right here. He looked at it, shook his head, smooth, threw it out in the crowd. Oh yeah. Let's look at that again. Let's look at the replay. He sees it. I don't know how I got on stage. He looked at it, shook his head, did it again. Now, I think that this is real corny. And Aubrey Graham, if you're listening, I really want to say this, man. The reason that you're going through what you're going through is mostly your fault now. It's mostly your fault. I mean, I know you participated in the battle, but at this particular moment, you're keeping this beef alive. You're keeping this war between you and Kendrick alive because you keep giving attention to it, right? DeMar DeRozan was your friend. I don't know how close y'all were, but I'm assuming y'all were real close. You found out he wasn't your real friend. He sided with the guy from Compton where he's from, and it is what it is. But the tactics that you keep doing make you look goofy, and it keeps fueling this feud between you and Kendrick. See, this rap battle is supposed to be over, but you won't let it go. You won't let it go. The reason Not Like Us is viral again is because of you, because the whole Super Bowl thing. So these lame tactics and going at people that don't even rap, you're going around everybody else. So you're going at everybody else except Kendrick again, and you already know what the result of that will be. I just think it's lame and corny, man. I think it's lame, it's corny, and it keeps the narrative that you're a sore loser, wearing your feelings on your sleeves. Like, why do you keep doing this? I know that you're bitter. I know that you're hurt, but taking shots at NBA players that don't even rap, what's it supposed to do? You're throwing out songs with LeBron James or talking about LeBron James, the Fighting Irish freestyle. You're like a hurt, scorned woman. And I really wish that Drake would just move on about his life. Keep making music, do what you do, but stop fueling this beef. Because I love the content from it, but the most things that I see happen is all because of Drake. Kendrick put out GNX. Kendrick does the Super Bowl, but you don't hear anything else from it. The biggest thing is he performed Not Like Us and looked in the he looked in the camera and said, "Say Drake." But that's only, I feel, because of what Drake has contributed after the beef. With the whole controversy, it went from, is he gonna perform Not Like Us to, oh, he got a lawsuit, he can't perform Not Like Us. Is he gonna do it anyway? You know what I'm saying? So it's real sad to see Drake keep fueling this beef, man, because these tactics are just so stupid, man. It's real stupid. So yeah, I think it was real corny, and Drake needs to get over this shit. Like it's time. It is time to move on. So let's move on, as I'm about to do.